What's going on? Back with another late night discussion. I want to make this video talking about know who you're dealing with. When it comes to people, you better know who you're dealing with because not knowing who you're dealing with can cost you your life if you're not careful. You know, when I was in my 20s, when I was an adolescent, I was so quick to just befriend anybody. And what I had to learn is that you got to be discerning when you befriend people. And you got to know who you're dealing with. You can't just jump into a friendship. I used to be so quick to extend my friendship to people. And at the age of 35, I think more in depth about things. And I'm very good at picking up on vibes and energy. Um, I feel being raised in the church and being bombarded with religion makes you very meek and humble and, nice and just very inviting. But it's not always good to be very inviting because being that way could get you knocked off. And I am to a point in my life now to where I'm very discerning and I'm very good at picking up on vibes and energy when it comes to people. Um, you know, if you don't, if I had any advice to give, I would just tell anyone be mindful of who you deal with. And you got to get some time to know who you're dealing with because dealing with the wrong people can cause you to end up dead, can cause you to end up in prison, can cause you to end up in a very bad predicament. So you got to know who you're dealing with. Um, I'm not quick to extend my friendship to people anymore. And that's a good thing. I'm to a point to where if a person doesn't have my same energy, if a person don't have the same interests or desires that I have, there's no need for us to kick it. That's my whole mentality. Um, in the past, I've befriended people who have a hood mentality. Uh, but I had to understand that why would you hang around people that have that kind of mentality when you don't even come from the hood? You see, that's a conflict of interest. You befriending hood type of ninjas when you don't even come from that. And the sad part, especially within the urban community, you got a lot of brothers who are from the suburbs, but they want to claim the hood and they want to identify with that. That's why I say the urban culture is just so twisted because it's like you got brothers that was raised in the suburbs, but they want to identify with the hood because that's the culture. I was guilty of it myself back in my middle school and high school days. But I feel like once you become a grown man, once you're in your 20s, definitely by the time you're in your 30s, you don't need to be around here trying to be some gangster or some head buster. You don't need to be trying to pretend to be no thug as a grown man. I believe in just being true to yourself. If you grew up suburban, salute. But the sad part about this urban culture is you got brothers that don't even come from the streets who want to identify with that, which is sad. And I made some bad friend selecting. I did some. I will say that I'll say it like this. I did some bad friend selecting in the past. Befriending street ninjas when I don't even come from that kind of environment. Um, you got to know who you inviting into your life because if you invite the wrong people into your life, it can cause your life to come crumbling down. And you want to make sure that you don't associate with people who are pretending to be cool with you, but deep down they really have ill feelings towards you. And I had to even go as far as understanding that sometimes your own family could have some sinister feelings towards you. I never wanted to believe that your own family can have sinister feelings towards you, but it's so real and it's very true. This is why I say know who you're dealing with. Don't just go out of your way to befriend someone. Take time to get to know that person, test the energy, feel the vibe, and you make an assessment for yourself because going out of your way trying to befriend the wrong people, it can cost you. And I can honestly admit that in the past in my life, I've been too friendly with folks. You can't be too friendly with people because you don't know where their head is at and you don't know what type of mindset they have. And I always say this, but it's so true. You got a lot of pretenders out there. You got a lot of people who will pretend like they got love for you. They'll pretend like they're your buddy, but they don't really care for you deep down. This is why you got to be very careful when it comes to dealing with people. Cause it's nothing worse than a person who pretending like they cool with you, but deep down they got a heart full of malice. So you could get yourself killed dealing with a person like that. That's why I say know who you're dealing with. I'm to a point in my life to where I'm learning to enjoy my own company and enjoy me. I'm not desperate for friends like I used to be back in my younger days because I'm wiser now. And I understand that dealing with the wrong people could cause you to end up in prison, can cause you to get yourself hurt. And this is why I'm no longer going out of my way trying to just befriend just anyone. Um, and that's what I advise to anyone. Don't go out of your way trying to befriend folks. You better know who you're dealing with because if you don't, it could cost you your life. Um, I can honestly admit in the past when it comes to dealing with people, I've been way too nice when it comes to dealing with people in the past. I've been way too friendly and I've been way too open. And it goes back to what my father told me. In this world, you got to have some evil in you. You can't just be a man of God. You got to have some Satan qualities within you. And I truly believe that. My dad's always dropping jewels on me. And that's very true. Um, in this world, if you go through life just being a man of Jesus or being a man of God, you're going to find yourself getting killed. My dad knew what he was talking about when he told me you can't go through life just being a man of Jesus. I know your mother was trying to raise you to be a man of Jesus, but you need to have some qualities of the devil too. And that's so true. See, my dad always kept it 100 with me. Not many brothers can say they had a father that kept it 100 with them. Um, all I can say is just be mindful when it come to folks. Because everybody that seem like they official, really not. You got a lot of actors out there. They deserve Oscars. But just be vigilant. Keep your eyes open. And if something don't feel right, then 9 times out of 10, it ain't right. But that's been tonight's discussion. You guys have a good one. I love having these late night discussions. Thanks for all the support. Thanks for all the love. And I'll be talking with you guys very soon. Have a good night.